need to move over to our senior anchor, Michael Koche, who is out there to see the situation on the ground with regards to this current increase in the price of petrol, how motorists are reacting to this development. Mike, are you there? Could you unmute yourself? Then we can hear you.
Yes.
Right, right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Tell us
Very
what's
good.
going on. What
So,
did you find on the streets?
Yeah, very good. Very good. So I am here at Alakbere, and I am standing on the street now. You can see Ross right behind me is one of the filling stations on Alakbere. On this lane, you will find about 5 to 6 filling stations on this line, going from just behind me on that road. There is the way to the island. This road used to be very, very jammed with traffic on daily basis, but you can see right behind me that so many cars have left the road. But the point there is, we're talking about fuel this morning. Nigerians yesterday got the news of the increase in pump price of petrol, but surprisingly, the filling station behind me and some of the major marketers are selling at 570 this morning. However, we heard of some other filling station, independent petroleum marketers that are selling at over 600, 620, 615, 630, and even some beyond. From some of the reports we got this morning, some filling stations outside of Lagos or even outside of the southwest of Nigeria sell even up to almost 700 as at this morning. So one would expect, because yesterday we saw that there were some queues on some filling stations when the announcement came in. But as you can see right behind me, have to put it so you can see, the queues have eased up and we don't have filling stations. We've seen some of the filling stations on our way here, and there are no queues this morning. But we've seen that when it comes to the price, like the GMD of NNPC has said, the market forces are working on the prices, so you may not find a 100% exclusive uniform price from one filling station to another, but you're going to see, change in price slightly marginally here and there. So that's what we have this morning. But on the roads, the queues, the traffic is very light this morning going to Victoria Island, maybe partly because of the fuel situation as it is. Veronica.
Right. Were you able to speak with perhaps persons who were waiting to take a commercial vehicle, like engage a commercial transportation services, to know what their take was with regards to this new increment and how the prices have changed for them?
A lot of persons, the person that I spoke to this morning, in fact, there was a driver I spoke with, I chatted with him and all of that. He was saying that, well, since yesterday, that he was expecting that as at this morning, he was going to buy fuel. That he had not worked really, and then the price changed. So he was telling me how he is going to feed his family and all of that. But the point there is, they are talking about the cost of transportation, the cost of fueling their vehicles, and the cost of doing business generally. And they have said that the government should take a look into this. They also talked about the issue of the palliatives that we have been talking about. The federal government has talked about the issue of giving 8,000 naira as palliative to about 12 million Nigerians. Now, yesterday we heard that the president has called for the review of that amount that is given, or that was stipulated to be given, to about 12 million Nigerians. How that is going to work out, we're still waiting for the government to give us that. So they are saying that government has to really do something. Some of them talked about the issue of Dangote refinery working right away so that there can be adequate fuel that will bring down the challenge of the cost of prices of petroleum, so that when there is adequate supply, it will reduce demand and then the prices can come down. That is what they are talking about this morning. So everyone is really concerned about how the costs, this cost of fuel is impacting every single business as of today.
Well, quickly, let's speak with a senior uncle, Michael Koche, who went to the field to feel the pulse of how things are with regards to the fuel price increase, the recent fuel price increase. And it's interesting to see hear what you told us, especially the number of vehicles on the road now reducing. I also noticed that this morning. And the fact that Nigerians are actually complaining about this development.
Well, first of all, it's good to be on the streets again.
Yeah.
You know, that feel of, okay, on the field and all of that. But the reality is that I spoke to some drivers, and one particularly was saying that he was hoping to get fuel today. You know, he had to go to the farm yesterday. He was hoping to get fuel today so he could, you know, get back to work and so on. And then, unfortunately, yesterday, they got the news. Before he could come back to the farm and all of that, the adjustments have been made and so on. So he was complaining, how is he going to feed his family? How is he going to, you know, and so on. But the good thing is that we don't have the scarcity as it is, especially here in Lagos. You know, when these things are announced, Abuja is one of the first places you're going to see, you know, a change. Abuja reacts very, very quickly to some of these things. But the NNPC has assured that there's adequate fuel for at least...
For 32 weeks.
You know, that's the thing. So we hope that as much as the price has gone up a little bit because of the issues of demand and supply, market forces trying to find its level, at least let it be available for people. But a lot of Nigerians talked about the issue of government looking deeply into some of these things so that it could cushion especially the palliatives that you know, they are expecting. You know, so many people are expecting it, but they are saying that no one has come to speak to them regarding the issues of palliatives and so on, that how would they be captured and so on. Yeah. I believe government has the answer to that when it comes to, because the poorest of the poor are everywhere.
Yeah, in fact, all of us need help. That was what we...
No, exactly.
Everyone needs help as it is.
Everyone needs help.
But then the government is reviewing this whole palliative thing. Like we mentioned earlier, government is saying that it has to reflect the current realities. And the economist I spoke to earlier, Dr. Muda Yusuf, was also talking about the government should look at 3 key areas, talking about transportation, talking about food, and he mentioned one other aspect, how the government should engage, you know, players in the 3 sectors. He talked about transportation, he talked about even the fuel, how government can speak with these people so that they can make this readily available to Nigerians.
One good thing the government is looking at is the issue of freeing up the market. You know, a lot of money is tied up. In fact, just even the forex exchange alone, if they tell you the amount of money that goes to defending the naira alone, that money has been freed up now. At least that money goes into other different
things. But how
this
translates to the average Nigerian?
No, the point there is that there's going to be initial reaction. It's very normal. Because this has to do with demand, supply. There's going to be a reaction. This is the reaction we're seeing now. But where we peg, the NNPC pegs price of fuel at a certain benchmark, CBN pegs the exchange rate at a certain benchmark and all of that, and using monies to defend and keep it there. Now, that money has been freed. So now that money is free, we can now do different things. Demand and supply will ensure that those rates will find their level. By the time more persons go into the market, because we have a monopoly. You know, it's NNPC was the only one who brings in fuel, petrol and all of that. Now, more people will go in. The moment it liberalizes, now there will be availability. And then when there's adequate supply, prices will come down. So these are initial reactions to the policies that government came up with. Now,
this initial reaction, we agree that this is an initial reaction, but how the impact on Nigerians is very key.
No, of course.
And that is why even the economist, Dr. Muda Yusuf, was saying government has to come in to ensure that it can manage all of this, because social issues must also be looked into. We do not want a society where there is chaos or anything as a result of the policies government is putting in place. So government has to come in to manage whatever is going on, the reactions, initial reactions, so that there can be some level of stability.
Yes. the area of management is important, and that's communication too.
Yeah.
Recall that we talked about the engagement with the labor on one hand,
yeah.
and also publishing the names of these people on national dailies so
Absolutely.
that Nigerians can have the feel of the fact that
I know you are just coming from the field, and there's so much energy. I have to leave it here now.